Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in before we start building on the topic for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a wonderful weekend. Fabulous Saturday, man. Everything going peaceful, smoothly, powerful. Y'all staying healthy, staying positive, staying productive. So give y'all a chance to tune on in, man, before we start building and diving into this important subject matter for the day, man. Revolving around your health, revolving around your heart, something that we tend to neglect. So we got to build on what to do to prevent that heart from attacking us, because that's been the number one killer of our people for a very long time. For a very long time. So give y'all a chance to tap in with me, man, before we really start building. Terenzo, my brother, DJ Elmo, Fun Gay, what's going on with y'all, man? How everybody living? How everybody holding up, maintaining? Denise, what's going on? Mac 701, what's going on with you? Hertz 187, peace. Terrell, hey, appreciate that donation. How you living? But we most definitely got to stop neglecting that heart. We got to stop neglecting that heart, man. We talk about all these killers in regards to our people, but guess what? Heart disease has been that number one killer for a minute. And for the most part, it's very easy and simple to prevent heart disease, to prevent that heart from attacking you. So it's like we got a lot of outside external forces working against us, striving to wipe us out. Yet internally, we are wiping ourselves out via our lifestyle choices, man. So we got to start making better choices. We got to start making better choices, man. A lot of these things that we die from, a lot of these things that are killing us, we can easily prevent them by simply making better lifestyle choices, man. This stuff is not rocket science. It's not complicated. It's not that intricate. It's very simple in regards to just how to maintain and elevate your health. Real simple, yet we make it complicated. Lachelle, Queen, what's going on with you? Sweet Tea, Peace, what's going on with you? Terrell, day, I appreciate all of y'all. Lindell, my brother, Peace, Shabazz the disciple. That's that. Hey, that's the. I rock with him. Terenzo, that's crazy. 21 years young. I think I know some people that have passed away that was a little younger, man, and that's what's becoming the norm. That's becoming the norm, man. We passing away at younger ages from like diseases and ailments that traditionally hit us as we got older. Now these same diseases and conditions are hitting us at younger ages. So you seeing people in their early 20s, they might be 18 or 19, heart attack, strokes, having type 2 diabetes and things of that nature. Man, this was uncommon, unheard of back in the day. Now it's becoming more prevalent. And part of the reason it's becoming more prevalent because, like I said, like I've always said, we passing a lot of these habits down. A lot of books that I have, they talk about heart disease, and they talk about when heart disease actually starts to manifest itself. And a lot of times that actually starts in the womb. They have done studies on women that have had miscarriages. And they studied it's crazy. Like they studied the condition of the heart of the fetus, the dead fetus, man. And they had signs of heart disease, heart problems, fresh out the womb. So that's where it really starts. Montel, peace, what's going on? Matter of fact, I'm gonna read the source, man. Y'all know I like to read my sources, man. I'm gonna read a source real quick for y'all, man. And this definitely, ladies definitely need to pay attention to this. Say, just how early do these fatty streaks start to appear? Atherosclerosis may start even before birth. Italian researchers looked inside arteries taken from miscarriages and premature newborns who died shortly after birth. It turns out that the arteries of fetuses whose mothers had high LDL cholesterol levels, which is the bad cholesterol, were more likely to contain arterial lesions. This finding suggests that atherosclerosis may not just start as a nutritional disease of childhood, but one during pregnancy. I mean, listen to what I'm telling you, man. That stuff starts early. And a lot of times, man, we don't even have control over it. So we got to just start making better choices. We just got to start making better choices, period, because you impacting the younger generation. You impacting the future generations when you decide to eat the wrong foods out here and when you decide not to put the proper foods into your system. So we got to start making better choices. That stuff starts in the womb. So you coming out the gate, you entering this world at a disadvantage because the mother decided to make bad decisions while she was pregnant with you, while she was housing you. That's the type of stuff that we got to start thinking about. That's the type of stuff that we got to start considering. At that particular point, it should no longer be about you. You got to stop caving into your cravings when you eating for another life as well, because you got to understand that you are impacting that life that's inside of you. So every time you make a destructive decision, you are not only impacting yourself, you impacting that life that's inside of you. You impacting that life that's inside of you, man. So that is definitely big. That is something that we have to start considering and focusing more on. Got to make better decisions, man, while the child is in the womb. Got to do it. Got to do it. That's where some of those habits generate. That's where some of those habits start and begin for that particular person, for that child while they're in the womb. So you may have habits and cravings to this day that you don't understand, but it has a lot to do with what was happening while you was in the womb. So you may, like I said, you may have a lot of cravings and things like that you don't understand, like where you got this craving from. It could have derived when you were in the womb. It could have derived from cravings your mother had while she was in the womb, things that she ate while you was in the womb. Herx 187, that I don't even think that's an actual fact. Herx 187 asks, do you think this applies to how some kids are born with disabilities? That's an actual fact. They got a lot of studies. They got a lot of studies that talk about that, man. Even in this particular book, I want to see. This is one of the books I got that's on it, man. It's called How Not to Die, by the way. I want to see if I can find. I want to see if I can find some information that talks about that, man. Basically, talking about the way the mothers were eating, and it resulted in like low birth weight and birth defects. So it was talking about that right in this book that I was reading from. I can't necessarily find the highlight, but basically them eating the destructive foods and not putting the proper foods into the system led to the low birth weight and birth defects. More prevalent in the people that had the high cholesterol and things of that nature. And high cholesterol, the reason why they harping on high cholesterol, because that's something that you must pay attention to when it comes to heart disease and heart attacks. If that cholesterol is high, you more susceptible to that heart attacking you. So you got to be mindful of your cholesterol. They say, especially when you're focusing on the LDL cholesterol, because that's supposed to be the bad cholesterol. That's supposed to be the bad cholesterol. But the cholesterol is something that you definitely want to pay attention to. So you definitely want to make sure you're getting your cholesterol numbers checked if you consume certain foods. If you don't consume certain foods, then 9.9 times out of 10, your cholesterol is not high at all. So you want to keep that total cholesterol number under, I believe it's 150. And they said the average, the last time I checked, the average for the Americans in regards to cholesterol was like 200. So just think about it. If you want to get it below 150, we hovering around 200. That's the norm in America. That's the norm in America. Like, that's the norm in America. We need to be striving to have that cholesterol, the total cholesterol under 150, but the average American, 200. 200. So you need to get that cholesterol in check. If you having heart issues, 9 times out of 10, you also have high cholesterol. So you need to get that cholesterol in check. How do you get the cholesterol in check? It's real simple. Matter of fact, we don't need to be consuming foods that have cholesterol because your body naturally produces the cholesterol it needs. So that's another thing that people don't realize. We consume all these animal products that have cholesterol in them, and we don't need that extra cholesterol. That's how we end up with excess cholesterol with high cholesterol levels, because we consuming these foods that have cholesterol in them. That's a negative. So you want to stay away from the trans fat foods, junk foods, processed foods. You got your saturated fat, so foods containing a lot of saturated fats. Again, you talking about animal products, junk foods. Then you have dietary cholesterol, which again, the eggs. So all animal products contribute to the boosting of your cholesterol. So you got the trans fatty foods, you got your saturated fats, your foods high in saturated fats, and then you have your dietary cholesterol. All of those things can contribute to high cholesterol levels. So you want to minimize or eliminate the consumption of those foods. The trans fatty foods, you want to eliminate that. You don't want to consume anything that has trans fat in it. You don't want to consume the trans fatty foods. That's a negative. No good. The processed foods, the junk foods, eliminate that. The saturated fat, you definitely want to minimize that or eliminate that. Again, you're looking at animal products like the animal protein, the meat. You want to limit your consumption of the meat because of the saturated fat. Saturated fat can boost the cholesterol. No good. High cholesterol links you to the heart disease, the heart problems. So minimize or eliminate the saturated fat. Then the dietary cholesterol, which is to a lesser degree. And that's the eggs and things of that nature. And that's to a lesser degree in regards to maintaining a decent cholesterol level. So you want to definitely stay away from anything with the trans fats. Saturated fat, want to limit that. Want to limit it or eliminate it. I recommend eliminating the animal products, period. When you eliminate the animal products, when you go plant-based, guess what? You're not consuming the extra cholesterol. So when you plant-based, when you eliminate the animal products, you have eliminated the cholesterol problem, which is why they suggest people go plant-based. Got plenty of studies. I got a book called Reversing Heart Disease. And the way that they reversed the heart disease was they went on low-fat vegan diet type regimens. And they start seeing the condition improve immediately because you eliminate the cholesterol. You eliminate the extra cholesterol that you're getting via these animal products. So when you eliminate that, then you are essentially fixing the problem. When you eliminate those foods, the animal products, you are eliminating the problem. Oh yeah, DJ Elmo, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. A lot of addictions start right in the womb. A lot of addictions start right in the womb. A lot of addictions start right in the womb. Yeah, DJ Elmo, that LDL cholesterol should be, I would say, they say 50 to 70. That's where the number should be for the LDL. I say aim for the low end of that. I say aim for the low end. But again, once you go plant-based, you essentially eliminate the cholesterol issue. Going plant-based is one of the best things that you can do if you already have a heart problem. Now, if you're striving to just prevent it, which again, preventative measures are always better and easier than actually striving to reverse something. See, a lot of times we continue to wait until it's too late, and we in that reversal stage where we're trying to reverse the condition. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to reverse it opposed to just preventing it in the first place. So we much rather take preventative measures opposed to trying to reverse the condition, because there are a lot of factors. There are a lot of factors that must be considered when striving to reverse a condition. It's kind of complicated. DJ Elmo, no doubt. which is why we touching on it. And again, the problem is real. It's actually that it's just that simple to solve, man. Just eliminate. If you eliminate the animal products, man, your cholesterol is going to naturally go down because you're not consuming excess cholesterol via the animal products. It's really that simple. It's really that simple, and it's crazy, but we know why they not gonna necessarily teach it. And I'm gonna read some quotes from this book to show and prove why they won't teach what they know to be right and exact, and why they teaching us otherwise. I'm gonna give y'all some quotes from some very important people. Lindell, no sir, don't recommend aspirin. No sir. Dominique, I'm already knowing you at work. You at work. I already know. But I'm about to read some important quotes here. Some important quotes. So y'all bear with me, man. I'm finna read some important quotes so you can see why they put this misinformation out here, and so you can see that they know the truth. They actually know the truth. They actually know that we don't need to be consuming the animal products. They know this to be true, but they teaching you otherwise. We got some quotes to show and prove that. We got some quotes to show and prove that. I'm gonna read straight out of the book. It goes like this, man. As one commentator noted in the Food and Drug Law Journal, historically, the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee reports contained no discussion at all of the scientific research on the health consequences of eating meat. If the committee actually discussed this research, it would be unable to justify its recommendation to eat meat. I'm going to repeat that. Nikki, what's going on with you? Beast Reincarnated. What's going on with you? The one meal a day, depending on the one meal, can be beneficial. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to this quote. If the committee actually discussed this research, it would be unable to justify its recommendation to eat meat, as the research would show that meat increases the risk of chronic diseases, contrary to the purposes of the guidelines. Thus, by simply ignoring that research, the committee is able to reach a conclusion that will otherwise look improper. So they are ignoring the research. They know they have done the research, and the research is telling them that eating meat is destructive and increases the risk of chronic diseases, yet they are ignoring that research, and we know why they are ignoring the research: for monetary purposes. But they have done the research, and they can't even justify the consumption of meat after they have done the research. So a lot of people are out here arguing with me when I talk about going vegan, going plant-based, eliminating the meat, soup bone, what's going on. A lot of people want to argue, but the same people that's telling you to eat the meat have done the research, and the research has told them that they can't even justify suggesting that we eat meat, but they just ignoring the research, and they teaching you, or they telling you to do what they want you to do. They not teaching you the truth. They not telling you the truth. They have done the research. They have done the research. They know what's up. They know that the meat is increasing your risk for chronic disease. Hence why they telling you to consume it. That's why they telling you to consume it. Jay, what's going on? That's why they telling you to consume it. They have done the research. They have did the knowledge to it. They know that that is increasing your risk. So that's why they going to push you to consume it, because they know what's going on. They know what it's doing to you. They know that that is causing the heart to attack you when you consume the animal products. They literally have no justification in regards to recommending that people eat meat. They can't even justify it. They can't. They cannot justify it. The same people that got you out here eating the meat can't justify the recommendation. Yet people want to argue with me when I say eliminate it. That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all need to question and talk to the people that got y'all out here eating the meat. Got you out here eating the meat thinking that it's necessary, when all it's doing is boosting that cholesterol, increasing that cholesterol, then increasing your risk for heart disease, heart attacks, and all that good stuff. That's what it's doing. That's what it's doing. But then when I tell you to go plant-based to reverse the condition or prevent the condition, now you looking at me sideways, because they have convinced you that you need the meat, that you need the dairy products, that you need the eggs. They have convinced you that you need all of those things that I've mentioned. That's what they have convinced you. That's what they have convinced you. And at the end of the day, like I said, I got to keep harping on cholesterol, because once you get your cholesterol in check, you don't have to worry about heart disease. And like I said, the three main culprits for your increased cholesterol: trans fatty foods, because that's your junk foods, it's your processed foods; saturated fats, you find most of that in animal products, like the meat. And then again, you have the dietary cholesterol, and that's to a lesser degree, which the main source of that would be like your eggs. And I even did an experiment when it comes to eggs, man. So I laid off the eggs for a minute, then reintroduced the eggs back into my regimen, and I just noticed how it made my chest feel. Like, it made my chest feel tight. So I already know that eggs can play a role in clogging up the arteries. I already know, because I did the experiment on myself. Like I said, I eliminated the eggs for a while, then reintroduced them. And as soon as I consumed the eggs, I was like, whoa. Like, I thought I was going down, man. So I know the eggs are detrimental to your heart, detrimental to your arteries. Again, because that's that cholesterol. And that's one of the things that they got people out here overly consuming. I can't tell you how many times that I talk to people and they be like they had a boiled egg or they had eggs for breakfast. So they have convinced the public that eggs are good, eggs are safe. They have convinced the public of that. Nah, stay away from them eggs, yo. Stay away from those eggs. Hertz 187, the food pyramid is deadly. That food pyramid, the traditional food pyramid that they used to give us back in the day, deadly. You follow that, yeah, man, you just opening yourself up to a multitude of diseases and chronic illnesses. Yeah, DJ Elmo, that's exactly why I'm telling them, stay away from the saturated fats. Calvin, man, don't drink the soda, man. It's better to not drink anything opposed to drinking that soda. Don't drink it. Don't drink it. And then I want to build on some more information in regards to just the way that they putting this misinformation out here. I'm gonna read to y'all. I'm gonna read another paragraph to y'all, man. Show y'all how wicked these people really are. In 1977, the U.S. Senate Committee on Nutrition and Human Needs tried to do just that, known as the McGovern Committee. They released dietary goals for the United States, a report advising Americans to cut down on animal-based foods and increase their consumption of plant-based foods. As a founding member of Harvard University's nutrition department recalls, the meat, milk, and egg producers were very upset. That's an understatement. Under industry pressure, not only was the goal to decrease meat consumption removed from the report, but the entire Senate Nutrition Committee was disbanded. Several prominent senators reputedly lost their election bids as a result of supporting the report. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Do y'all hear what I just read? They came out with a report that was advising Americans to cut down on animal-based foods and increase their consumption of plant-based foods. So they had a report, they had a committee that was encouraging the Americans to cut down on animal-based foods and increase their consumption of plant-based foods. Well, the meat, milk, and egg industry was not too fond of that. So they removed that. They removed the goal to decrease meat consumption. They removed it from the report. But that Senate, the Nutrition Committee, it was disbanded. That committee was disbanded. They got rid of the committee that was about to advise people to cut down on the animal-based product and increase your plant-based products. They disbanded that committee. They eradicated that committee. And several prominent senators lost their election bid as a result of supporting a report that told the Americans to cut down on animal products and increase their consumption of plant-based products. So this is how powerful these industries are. This is how powerful these industries are. This is how powerful these industries are, man. So a lot of times, this is why this information, the proper information, is not getting out, because you have this type of power behind these industries. Lindell, I'm gonna do you one. I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna do you one better. Not the seasoning and sauces, but the preparation, the way the foods are cooked. The way the foods are cooked causes a lot of problems. Like the fumes, like if you're frying your food, the fumes from frying the foods, man, release those carcinogens that's causing cancer. So the fumes, man, you could be getting lung cancer because you frying your food. That's how deep it is, man. You could be getting lung cancer not from smoking the cigarettes. You can be getting lung cancer by simply frying your foods. That is damaging your lungs. That can lead to lung cancer because you are frying your foods. And the fumes from frying the food is causing that lung damage. Yeah, see, the eggs are just stay away from the eggs. But like I said, they got a lot of people consuming the eggs. Got a lot of people consuming the eggs because we already know what's trending. We already know what's trending out here. You got the high protein, low carb lifestyle is trending. And then the high fat. So they done told people that you can consume the fat, you can consume the protein. So one of the best foods for that, eggs. So that's why everybody think they can consume eggs and they good. People literally tell me they had the boiled egg or they had the eggs for breakfast and they looking at that like, man, that's healthy. That's good, ain't it? I'm like, no, that's not. Stay away from the egg. I don't care if you're boiling it. I don't care what you're doing to the egg. Stay away from them. You don't need them. When it's the morning time, man, all you need to do is consume the fruits. That's all you need to do. Nice. It's all political. Hirsch 187. Oh, no doubt. They plan on vegan. They plan on vegan, man. They got a lot of these products. They got a lot of vegan junk foods and a lot of things like that, man. So you could be saying you vegan and be a junk food vegan. But they also doing the same thing with plant-based too, though, Hirsch. They doing the same thing with plant-based. They labeling the food. You will see a food product and it'll say plant-based on it. So they doing the same thing with plant-based. They doing the same thing that they doing vegan. They doing it with plant-based. All they got to do is put plant-based on the label and we be like, all right, cool, it's plant-based. So if you notice, not only do they put vegan on a lot of things, they also put plant-based on a lot of things that are not necessarily good for you. So they doing that same thing with plant-based. They doing the same thing with plant-based, man. It's a lot of junk foods out here that don't have any animal products as ingredients, and they labeling it plant-based. Oh, nice. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't need eggs at all. You don't need eggs at all. DJ Elmo, man, I got one of my first videos I ever did talked about the milk nonsense and how milk actually strips the calcium from the bones and all that sugar in milk as well. But milk, people think milk builds the strong bones. It actually weakens the bones. It's stripping the calcium from the bones. And you can get like sesame seeds, another good one too. Sesame seeds, man. Like watercress is cool, but the sesame seeds are also cool, man. And that's inexpensive and it's small, man. You could throw them sesame seeds in the blenders in a little smoothie, drink them joints, get your calcium that way. Yeah, Jamar, I got to stay away from the eggs, period. Any form of an egg was tampering with the quality of my heart. And all you got to do to really do the knowledge to it, eliminate something. Like if you want to see if something is really detrimental to your health, eliminate it from your regimen and then reintroduce it and see how your body responds. Like that's essentially what I did because I ate the best egg that you could eat. I wasn't finna go out here and eat a trash egg. So I ate the best quality egg that you can eat when I reintroduced it, organic and everything. So the exact egg you mentioned is the exact egg I reintroduced to my lifestyle. But it was like, nah, that mug did not agree with my heart at all. When at the end of the day, the egg is unnecessary. So I look at things like, is it necessary? Do I need it? I don't even need eggs, man. So I just eliminated it, especially considering the time that most people eat the eggs, which are in the morning. The morning time should be dedicated to fruit, period. That should be dedicated to fruit, period. Anything that they telling you getting from an egg, I can name a plant-based source or like a vegan source or whatever that's way better. But for the most part, people eating eggs in the morning because they done told people more protein in the morning type deal. Get them fruits in the morning and see how that changes your life. Yeah, Tony Briscoe. That's why I've been noticing. I've been seeing plant-based on a lot of stuff. Tavis, see, that's what I'm saying. I was eating the cake. I was literally eating the best egg. Still didn't. My heart flared up, man. It felt like I was gonna have a heart attack that instant. It don't matter how good the egg is adding on to that cholesterol, and your body already naturally produces cholesterol. So it doesn't take much for your body to have an excess amount of cholesterol because it already produces it. So we essentially don't need to consume anything that has cholesterol in it because the body is going to naturally produce the cholesterol. So it's not hard to get excess cholesterol. So anytime you consuming any of the animal products, no matter how good it is adding on to that cholesterol. So you got to be mindful of that. Yeah, DJ Elmo, grilling the meat, and a lot of people think grilling the meat is actually healthy. When I even played football, man, they gave us a little food list, and they actually told us to like eat grilled food instead of fried. It was baked and grilled. Little did they know. Terrell, oatmeal is cool. You get the right brand of oatmeal. Herx 187. I was having that conversation with somebody. People just assume, because I've had people they talk about people that's in their family, and they be like, well, I got a sister or I got a cousin that they don't eat meat, they don't eat dairy yet. They still overweight, they still obese, and they don't look like they healthy. I'm saying, man, it's really easy to not eat animal products and to not eat animal products and still be unhealthy. It's easy. It's easy to do that in 2021. It's easy to stay away from the animal products, from the dairy, from the cheese, from all of that, and still be unhealthy and still be overweight and obese. It's very easy to do that. And it's a lot of other things that you must factor in regards to like obesity and being overweight. If you're not getting enough rest, if you eating late at night, like if you doing little things like that, it really don't matter what you eating at that particular point. Like stuff gonna put weight on you. Stuff gonna put weight on you, man. If you eating any type of a heavy food before you lay down, go to sleep, that's adding weight. That's adding weight to you. You stressed out, that's gonna add weight to you. Again, not getting the proper amount of rest, that can add weight to you. So it's a lot of things that must be factored in. Just because I'm not eating the animal products don't necessarily mean that I'm finna just shrivel up and get skinny and then just be the healthiest person on the planet. That's not what that means. It's a way that you have to do it. John, now when it comes to that, good question. I'm not one of the ones that like I didn't go vegan for those reasons. But I'm actually starting to get into that though. But I didn't go vegan. I'm like what they would call a dietary vegan, meaning I just eat in a vegan manner. I don't necessarily care about the type of clothes that I wear being derived from like animals and things of that nature. But I'm actually getting into that though. I'm getting into that type of lifestyle too. So I'm getting into that though. But the reason I went vegan in the first place was strictly dietary reasons. So it was like a dietary vegan, meaning I just eat this way. I'm doing this for my health purposes. I'm not doing it for like environmental reasons and things of that nature. but I'm actually transitioning more into that type of philosophy and lifestyle. Yeah, Jamar. Yeah, and again, a lot of people ain't hip to grilling the foods. A lot of people ain't hip, man. It's people that grill religiously. It's people that grill religiously and think that they doing something. Lindell, man, lupus is affecting the entire body. That's autoimmune. So that's affecting the whole body. So it's definitely affecting the heart. And one of the best things for lupus is definitely plant-based, especially raw, like raw plant-based. One of the best things a person with lupus can do. DJ Elmo, no doubt. But like I said, we live in a time where they have made the egg, they have turned the egg into a superfood. Literally. They have turned the egg into a superfood. Josh T, I'm not big on salmon. I'm not big on fish. I'm not big on it. You looking at one of the most contaminated food sources on the planet when you start talking about like fish and salmon. So you got to be real mindful, real cautious. Got to examine the salmon if you are consuming it, because like I said, man, the water has been contaminated. So you got to watch out for the mercury and all that good stuff when it comes to salmon. But as the studies have indicated, if there is a lifestyle that you must choose that's not vegan, pescatarianism is that best route to take. So if you do have to incorporate a meat, I would suggest that. But I'm really not too fond of salmon. I'm not too fond of fish neither, man. Just according to my research, it's not really as beneficial and healthy as we tend to think. But if you striving to like transition, I would say start with pescatarianism to ease your way into the meatless lifestyle and things like that. I would say start with pescatarianism if you can. Oh, nice, you got it. Shine, nope. If it's an egg, no, not at all. Perch 187, you got to get the steel cut. You got to get them steel cut oats. From my experience, the steel cut oats, they work the best for me. So they work the best for me, but I think those are the best version in regards to the oats, man. Get some steel cut oats. Get the steel cut oats. Tavis, it's definitely agriculture warfare. It's definitely that. Definitely that. That's why we got to do what's necessary, man, to protect the heart, man, to protect the brain, to protect the muscles, to protect the bones, to protect the lungs. Like, that's why we got to do everything that's necessary to protect ourselves, man, because it's a war on us. And like I said, food is being used as a weapon. Food is being used as a weapon. So when the food is being used as a weapon, man, we got to be mindful of that. We got to be mindful of that. Now, before I forget, I want to touch on some of the foods that you should be consuming to prevent heart disease or reverse it. Reverse it. One of the top foods, like the top food, the food is at the top. Y'all already can see this coming. Dark leafy greens like your spinach, kale. A lot of them contain vitamin K. Vitamin K is real good for the heart. So you want to start off with your dark leafy greens, your spinach, and your kale. Want to make sure you consuming the spinach and the kale. That's very good for the heart health. Spinach, kale, dark leafy greens. Anything that's a dark leafy green, make sure you consuming it on a daily basis. Make sure you consuming it on a daily basis. And DJ Elmo, I was actually gonna talk about one of the foods that's a mono unsaturated fat that's good. That's good for the heart health. Avocado. Avocado. See, you talking about the healthy fats that we must consume that will benefit the heart health. Avocado is one of the foods that they recommend to consume to prevent heart disease, to protect the heart, to strengthen the heart. So I was already about to segue into talking about the healthy fats, but avocado is a food that they recommend consume. So you got dark leafy greens, you got avocados, and you got your berries. Berries are also good for heart health. Blackberries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, all of the berries, they are good for the heart health. Almonds are also good for the heart health. And DJ Elmo was talking about it. That's another healthy fat, along with the seeds, the chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, and all of those good things. They are also good for the health. Some more healthy fats. So I'm not essentially encouraging people to stay away from fats, which y'all probably heard me talk about saturated fats. Those are the fats that you want to stay away from, the trans fatty acid foods or the trans fat foods, saturated fat. The polyunsaturated fats, the monounsaturated fats, those are healthy fats. Then we start getting into the omega-3s and the omega-6 and things of that nature. Now, you don't want to OD on the omega-6 foods. That can cause inflammation. So you want to have a nice balance with the omega-3 and the omega-6 rich foods. So you got avocados, you got dark leafy greens, you got berries, and you got beans. Beans are also good for the heart health. Beans are very good for the heart health. And I recommend the kidney beans, black beans, chickpeas. They are all great for heart health. So you dark leafy greens, berries, you got beans, you got almonds, and I mentioned the seeds, the chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, all of those good seeds. They are great for the heart. So those are like the top 5 things to make sure you consume it on a daily basis to kind of protect the heart. Real simple, man. You can easily consume the seeds. Get you some dark leafy greens. Get you some berries. Get you some avocados. Pick from that selection. Yeah, it hurts. Get the steel cut. Get the steel cut. You even buckwheat is also good too. I don't know if you heard of buckwheat, but buckwheat is pretty solid as well. But yeah, those are like some top 5 foods to just make sure you consume it on a day-to-day basis. Day-to-day basis. Tomatoes are also good for the heart health as well. Tomatoes are also good. And they recommend kind of cooking the potatoes to activate certain enzymes. So it's not best to eat the tomato raw. That's one of the foods that you need to cook it to activate some of the enzymes. Just like a mushroom. They recommend cooking the mushroom and the tomato to activate the enzymes that's required for you to receive the proper benefits from the food. Tony Briscoe, no doubt. I gotta post some more of them joints. And that's another thing too. Obviously, exercise, man. The heart muscle. So you got to work that joint out, man. You got to do some things that's gonna push that heart so the heart can get stronger. So a lot of people neglect that aspect of it. So not only do you got to eat the clean foods and the proper foods, you got to also make sure that you are exercising. Got to exercise that muscle. You got to strengthen that muscle. Got to strengthen that muscle. That heart is a muscle and you must strengthen it. So you must make sure you're doing some intense exercising, man, to push that heart. If you push that heart, guess what? That heart going to come back stronger. So you must make sure you increasing that intensity on a weekly basis, man, doing some intense exercising. At least 3 times out of the week. At least. Master tool, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I was consuming them, but I won't say that I miss them. I was just kind of consuming them because I felt like I just kind of had to. But it ain't nothing that I really missed, man, because those eggs had me feeling rough, man. They had me feeling rough. They had my chest feeling all good. Yeah, Jamar, avocado is the best source of potassium. A lot of people think it's a banana. Banana is actually low on the list in regards to high potassium sources, man. So avocados are your best sources, or one of your best sources of potassium. So definitely get the avocados in for the heart health. But yeah, Tony, I got to start posting more of those workouts, man, just to help y'all with the exercises, with the routines, pushing that heart to the limit, man, because again, like I said, it's a muscle, man. You got to use that joint. Got to use it. Got to use it. So you got to eat the clean foods, man. You got to stay away from anything that's increasing the cholesterol level. I named the 3 culprits of that. And then you got to make sure you exercise. And then, of course, you always got to make sure you're getting your water in, man. Yeah, Terenzo, I've been experimenting with them. They got a lot of interesting ingredients in them, but I always just got to pay attention to how my body responds to foods. That's what I do. That's what I do. So they haven't negatively impacted me. They haven't negatively impacted me. Hirsch 187. I mean, the proper answer to that is no. And it kind of depends on the vitamins. It kind of depends on the vitamins and minerals. Because when you start getting into like, what is it? Like the B vitamins and like vitamin C. Those are some vitamins that you might want to make sure that you eating on a daily basis. Like the B vitamin complex, so all the B vitamins, and then like vitamin C, you want to make sure you eating those. You make sure you get your RDI for those on a daily basis. But like the body is all wise and exact. So when it comes to certain vitamins and minerals, like the body can store some of them and make them when it's needed, when they low. But when it comes to like the B vitamins and vitamin C, body ain't storing those, man. You eliminate those via the urine. The body is not storing the vitamin C and the B vitamins. So you must make sure you're getting that on a daily basis. But Herx, with that though, you just want to make sure as long as you eating well balanced every day, you good. Sean Steve, now that guacamole is a decent alternative opposed to what you would be consuming in regards to what you use guacamole for. I'm just not a fan of it personally. Yeah, nice. That's how you do it. If it make the body feel bad, stay away from it. Stay away from it. Hertz 187, man. I can drop a video on the B vitamins. The only one that you really have to worry about is vitamin B12. The other ones you can easily get them. And you can even get the B12, get you some nutritional yeast, and you good. But I'll do a video on the B vitamins, though. It's not hard to get all the B vitamin requirements. Quite simple, actually. It's just vitamin B12 you got to worry about if you're not consuming like nutritional yeast. And they got it in like fortified milks, like the almond milks and stuff like that. They be throwing some B12 and vitamin D and stuff like that in those milks and those cereals. But I ain't finna recommend you go out here and just get some Frosted Flakes. But if you look at the back of Frosted Flakes, you're going to see the vitamin B12 in it. So they have thrown a lot of B12 in some of the cereals that's out here. But nutritional yeast is one of the best sources of B12, though. Nice. The mushrooms, that's great for the immune system. The mushrooms. It's like another superfood right there. But we didn't broke it down though. That's real simple, man. Preventing the heart disease, reversing the heart disease is real simple. For the most part, we causing our own destruction via our lifestyle choices. So we like to blame a lot of things. We like to blame a lot of things for our downfall and our destruction, other than blaming our own selves. So now we consuming those foods that's contributing to these negative conditions. So we need to own up to that. And the quicker we own up to it, the quicker that we can reverse these conditions and prevent them in the first place and stop passing them down to future generations. So we really got to start holding ourselves accountable. And I told y'all too, black mushrooms. Get them black mushrooms. Get them black mushrooms. Tony Briscoe, I don't really have too many thoughts on it. Because what they promise from that, you can easily get it via like what you consume, like just from the fruits and veggies and things of that nature. So I mean, if you rock with it and it works for you, I ain't mad at it. Like as long as your body don't negatively respond to it, but it's not something that I've experimented with, so I can't speak on it personally. I can't speak on it personally because I haven't necessarily experimented with it. But like I was getting ready to start venting, we got to start holding ourselves accountable, man, for what we doing to ourselves. We can sit around and talk about how the government killing us, how the cops killing us. We know that that's happening. We can sit and talk about that all day. But what we don't want to sit and talk about is how cancer is killing us, how heart disease is killing us, how diabetes is killing us. We don't want to talk about that because guess what? That's our own fault because we choosing to consume these foods. Nobody is putting a gun to your head telling you to eat these animal products. That's you choosing to do it. And you trying to justify it. Talking about it tastes good. Talking about you can't live without this meat. I don't know if I can drop this cheese. I can't do it. Can't do it. You can do it. It's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. You can do it. Stop telling yourself you can't. So you making that decision every day when you choose to eat foods that you know are harming you and harming your health. That's you deciding to do that. Ain't nobody else. That's you deciding to do that. So who you got to blame for that? Who you got to blame for that? Then you passing that down to your seeds. Who is to blame for that? Is you. Is you. At some point, we got to stop giving all this power to the government and outside sources. Like at some point, we got to say, that's on me. That's on me. At some point, you got to realize that's on you. Your child then picked up on these bad habits because they seen you doing it. Because you was feeding them the wrong foods. So now they got ailments at 20 because of you. That's your fault. That's your fault. Because you didn't want to clean up the way that you was eating while you was raising the seed. Now they got a bunch of problems. They overweight, obese at 15, 16. They getting picked on, bullied because you didn't want to clean up how you was eating. So you fed them the wrong foods. You fed them the poisonous foods. Like we say, poison animal eaters. You fed them those foods, causing all of these problems for them. You did that. You responsible for that. So we got to be like, listen, like I said, we got to be accountable for that. We got to be accountable for that, man. Heart disease is simply the result of lifestyle choices, point blank, period. Even cancer, man, even these cancers out here, lifestyle choices. Diabetes, definitely lifestyle choices. All of these kill hundreds of thousands of people a year. Hundreds of thousands of people a year die from lifestyle choices, for making the wrong decisions in life in regards to the consumption of the food. Not being able to let go of the alcohol, so they say, or so they believe. Not being able to let go of the cigarette, so they say, so they believe. These are the things that's killing us. These are the things that are truly killing us. Like, due to knowledge to those diseases that I mentioned, and see how many deaths those diseases are responsible for collectively a year. The wife is in the building. Y'all say peace to the wife. Dominique, that's no doubt about it. Anytime I reintroduce something into my regimen that I'm not supposed to be consuming, my body lets me know instantly. My body lets me know instantly. Your body becomes sensitive. It becomes sensitive when you start to eat cleaner. So when you eat anything that's destructive, your body gonna reject it instantly. It's going to reject it instantly. So when you start to clean up the way that you eating and you reintroduce something back into that life that's toxic, your body gonna let you know off the rip. Off the rip. And it's not gonna be a pleasant feeling. It's not gonna be a pleasant feeling at all. Like when you lay off the meat, say you lay off the meat for a month. When you bring that meat back into rotation, you gonna be sick for some days. It ain't gonna be a day, it ain't gonna be a minute. You're gonna be sick for some days. You're gonna be down and out for some days. Like it's gonna bring you down. It's gonna bring you down. And that's what they use that as a test to determine if something is toxic. So they tell you if you want to determine if something is causing like an allergy or if it's bad for you, like I said, eliminate it for about 2-3 weeks and then reintroduce it and see how your body responds. If your body responds negatively to it, that means you don't need it. That means it's bad for you. That means it's detrimental to your health. Antoinette, Peace Queen, what's going on? So again, you want to see if you having a reaction, if you want to see what's causing it, eliminate, reintroduce. Like I said, that's what I did with the eggs. I eliminated, reintroduced them. Body was like no good. So I said, okay, this is a cause. This is causing problems. So I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Oh, Jamar, you got it. Hey, see? Hey, you conquered it, man. You conquered the addiction. You conquered the addiction. A lot of us have addictions, whether it be the nicotine or whether it be fast food, whether it be the meat products, whether it be sugar. A lot of us got these addictions. Got to conquer the addictions. Got to conquer. Yeah, Sean, it ain't nothing pleasant, man. I messed around and it wasn't by choice. When I had stopped eating the meat, man, somebody had made a chili or something. And they told me that the chili didn't contain any meat products, like any meat. So I ate the chili. Lo and behold, it had some meat in it. Man, I was down bad. That messed me up for some days. Antoinette is all love this way as well. Bonafide, no doubt. No doubt. Because once you do it, but then at the same time, too, we gotta realize and understand that everybody's different. So something that may be easy to us may be very complicated to the next person. So at certain times we gotta look at things through that lens as well. So because a lot of people, like some of the stuff that I do in life, man, a lot of people look at me like, how are you able to do that? Because I just feel like I'm built different. I feel like I'm built different in regards to my mentality towards certain things. A lot of people don't have the mentality that I have when it comes to certain things that I do in life. Don't expect that from other people as well. Like I'm able to do a lot of things that a lot of people look at and be like, man, how are you accomplishing all of that in the day? Because I'm always on the go. So a lot of people don't have that willpower, that determination to do certain things. It's just not in some people. Hence why I don't waste time with some people, man, because it's just not in some people. They're just gonna continue to let you down. So when you invest all that time into somebody trying to get them to change their life, like some people, man, it's just not in them. And you got to keep it moving for your own sanity, for your own peace. Because you're gonna end up self-destructing trying to help somebody else out. You want them to do so good, but they keep letting you down. They keep failing because they lack the willpower, man. And it's really hard to teach that willpower. Like, it's really hard to teach someone willpower. So at the end of the day, all you can do is plant the seeds, man. You can't make anybody do anything. So the only thing that you can really do is plant the proper seed. Give them the jewels, give them the information. And they can take that information and do whatever it is they want to do with that information. But at the end of the day, that's all you can do. Plant the proper seed, keep it moving. Keep it moving. They're going to do whatever they want to do with that information at the end of the day. You can't beat them over the head, force them to do something. You can't beat them over the head, force a person to fast. You can't beat a person over the head, force them to let go of the meat. Can't do it. All you can do is plant the seed and say, look, these are the dangers of consuming meat. Take this information, do as you please. But I have given you the information. I have done my job. Like, at that point, I've done my job. I gave you the information. That's my job. My job is not to babysit anybody. That's not my job, because at the end of the day, what happens when you babysit, this is what happens. This is why I don't like to do it. Because when you babysit, now that person has become dependent upon your motivation, your inspiration to do what they need to do. So now they are dependent upon you to do what they need to do. And that's dangerous. So the moment that you fail, the moment that you slip up and don't motivate and encourage them, now they slip up and there they go. They blaming you. That's why I don't like babysitting people, because that's what happened. Now they dependent upon me to do what they need to do. That's a negative. That's a negative. That is a negative. So I'm going to plant the seed, keep it moving. But I'm not about to keep beating you up over the head saying, man, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that, because you're going to be dependent upon that. I'm not going to be in your life forever. I'm not going to be able to be there forever, all day, every day. So at some point, you're going to learn how to, you're going to need to learn how to operate and do what needs to be done when I'm not in the equation. So why not start that now? If you don't have the willpower to do it now, you won't have the willpower to do it then. So I'm not about to babysit you. I'm not going to babysit you, because I'm not going to be there forever to make sure you're doing what needs to be done. So you need to be able to develop that on your own. And like I said, at the end of the day, when people want to change, man, they going to change. When people want to change, they gonna make the decision to change. But it's on the person. It's on the person. Sean, man, you getting turned out here. And Denise, there it is. No excuses at all. No excuses, just execution is what I say. So it's no excuses at all. None. Yeah, bona fide. And that's what happens. They require your attention, your motivation, inspiration, and encouragement, your energy. They require that in order to do what they need to do. Negative. Never allow anybody to become dependent upon you for them to do what needs to be done. Negative, man. That is not the way to operate. Not the way to operate. That is going to not end well. That's not going to end well at all. When somebody becomes dependent upon you to do what's necessary, to do what's required, it's not going to end well. Never will. Yeah, bona fide. And that's what it is at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, that's all that you're going to have. So when it's time for you to make the change, you're going to have to realize that. Yeah, Dominique, exactly, man. Exactly. We don't have time for that. At some point, man, you just got to, like I said, you got to realize and acknowledge the fact that you've been on this planet for a minute. So you got to start moving accordingly, man. Like, we can't be babies. I can't be babysitting another adult. I got myself to worry about. I can't be babysitting another adult, man. Like, it's called babysitting, not adult sitting. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's not what I signed up for. It's not what I'm doing. So we got to start doing what we know needs to be done. Like, you know what needs to be done. You must do it. Why you need somebody else to keep telling you what needs to be done? And the funny thing about it, the person keeps telling you what needs to be done, but you keep not listening. So obviously that's not the solution. That's not the solution. It's something deeper than that. You don't need somebody else to tell you what needs to be done because you're just not going to listen. You're not going to listen. We'd have been there, done that. If that person not in your face 24/7, them just telling you what to do is not going to solve the problem. It's not going to solve the problem at all, man. Again, it's internal. It's internal work. It's an inside job. It's an inside job when it comes to your health, man. That starts internally. That starts internally. And that's just an actual fact, man. You got to do the internal work that's required, man, in order for you to reach that optimal state of health. It's definitely an inside job, though. But with that being said, y'all, man, I ain't really try to be too long with it today, man. I'll probably do a long-winded joint tomorrow, man. I got some venting to do tomorrow. I just wanted to touch on some heart information today, man. Make sure y'all stand on track, stand on y'all square from a health perspective. Just wanted to touch on that today. So we ain't gonna be too long today. Tomorrow is when we gonna build. We're really gonna talk about some important information. Let the passion out. Today, I just wanted to get the health out there, man. Make sure y'all doing what y'all need to do. Because we know how it goes, especially on the weekend, we tend to slip up. So we ain't got time for that. So I had to stay on y'all heads real quick. Tomorrow, I may play the Grinch tomorrow and build on the truth about Valentine's Day and whatnot. Might do that. I might go ahead and do that. Who knows? Snuggle 668, what's going on with you? So tomorrow we may build on that. But today, like I said, I wanted to keep it simple. Focus on the health. Real simple, man. If you striving to get that heart healthy, prevent that heart disease, reverse a condition, plant-based, stay away from that added cholesterol, that extra cholesterol, trans fats, saturated fat, dietary cholesterol, minimize or eliminate all of that. Go plant-based. And I mentioned some of the foods that help with the heart health: beans, avocados, berries, dark leafy greens, seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds. Those are some good foods to consume for the heart health. Make sure you're getting the proper amount of water in. They say either half your body weight in ounces. Some people drink that gallon of water a day. However you want to rock. But make sure you're getting that water in. And then, of course, make sure you exercise. I say about 3 days a week, man, do you some intense exercising that really pushes the heart, man, to the max. That's how you strengthen that heart, man. At least 3 times a week, do you some high intensity interval training to push that heart to the max, strengthen that heart. That's what must be done in order to prevent and reverse heart disease. Because again, that's been the #1 killer of our people for way too long. So we got to reverse that trend. We got to reverse that situation. Because a lot of that is the result of our poor decisions. So we got to stop making the poor decisions and make rich decisions. But with that being said, y'all, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in and tuning in, man. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the interaction, the questions, the dialogue, all of that good stuff, man. I'm going to tune out for the day, though, man. Sit back, chill out for a minute, get some things done. So y'all stay easy, man. Y'all enjoy this Saturday, man. Y'all stay healthy, stay peaceful, stay powerful, stay black, stay righteous, all that good stuff, man. I'm out, y'all. Peace.